Hello and welcome to this video, and in this video, this lesson, I'm going to talk to you about the short and long tool. So I'm going to jump directly to TradingView. So we have two tools that we can use. If you don't have these tools right here, you can just go to this area right here. You can press, oh no, where is it? This area right there, forecasting. You can see that you can mark out the short and the long position tool. So when you mark it out with the favorites, it jumps right here. So you have the long position right here, and you have the short position right there. So I'm going to explain to you both of them. Yeah, I didn't know what, it didn't create the same size, but anyway. I'm going to explain to you both of them and how they work and how they can benefit us to basically write or count our risk and count our reward from what we are risking, because this has to do with risk to reward. This has to do with risk to reward. How much am I willing to risk to be able to gain this amount? And this is the tool that helps us define those things. How much am I willing to risk to gain this amount? So in this, let me just choose one of them. In this long position right here, you can see that this area usually they are red. So I'm going to mark it out as red. Usually in this area, which are red, is the one that we are risking, right? So let's say I'm risking $1,000. I'm risking $1,000, and this is the amount that I'm risking right here. So if I hover my mouse over it, I'm gonna zoom in. If I hover my mouse over it, you can see that it tells me that there's a 1 right here, right? And this is where it says the risk reward ratio. This tool helps me calculate my risk reward ratio based on how much I move my take profit area. So this is the stop loss area and this is the take profit area. So based on how much I'm willing to risk to take profit, it adjusts based on the risk reward right here. So if I'm willing to risk $1,000 to gain how much? $2,000. This is what the risk reward tool is telling me. So you're risking, that's 1 to 2. 1 times 2. It times 2. So I'm timing it by 2. Multiplication. Everything that says on the risk reward, it times 2. And this is the same thing that we want to use on our position size calculator. Let's say we are trading this on Bitcoin USD, which is live right now. I'm going to take a short position right here. This is what we do. We look at what the market is telling us, and I'm taking this short position. I'm putting my stop loss on this area right here. It gives me a 27-point stop loss area. So this stop loss area we can talk about later on, but this stop loss area gives me a 27-point area, and I'm willing to take my profit right here, which gives me a 1 to, you can see, 1 to risk reward ratio 3.27. So I jump into the position size calculator right here, and where did I put my stop loss? On this high right here. I'm putting it on this high right here. How much am I willing to risk? 1%. I'm taking my trade right here, and I'm hiding the lines, and I'm moving my stop loss area to this area right here. This will give me, let's say, on this low right here. So where is my take profit is going to be taken out, right? Well, just take it on the below right here to make it easy. This is what happens. I'm using this short tool. I'm inside a short position, and you can see I entered this trade right here based on what it says on this MetaTrader 5, and I'm risking $1,000, 1% of my total amount of the account that I'm having, to gain 2000, let me just see it, 2240 on one position and 2380 on the second position. This gives me a proper risk reward. Why? Because I'm risking 1,000 about, right here to gain times 3.5. Because there are two positions, it's times 2. I don't know if I made that confusing because every position I take, this every position right here is 50% of the entire position. So one position is basically it's 2,240 times 2 because every position is 50%. You can see that there it's two positions right here. So when it eventually comes down and takes out my profit, this is going to be a 1-2 risk reward, 1 risk reward 3.5. So I'm risking 1,000 to gain 3,500 back. Do you see? That's how it works on the risk reward tool, and that's how the tools can be used. We're using them basically just as reference. We're using them basically just as a reference. And with time, you'll almost just need to have the reference point right here, and you will see what's the risk reward that it will be giving you based on the how much you're risking. So if we move the stop loss area to this area right here, just to make it clear, it doesn't move on the MetaTrader. We need to move this manually. So I'm moving it back. When we move our stop loss area right here, our our reward becomes smaller, right? Because the area of the risk becomes higher. So that's why we don't take huge stop loss areas, and we put our stop loss right here, which makes the reward very less. So we know the rule of thumb is I don't want to be risking $1,000 of my money to gain 500 back. That's a bad deal, right? I want to be risking $1,000 to gain more. I don't want to gain less if I win. So that's risk reward backwards. That's what we not want to do. So some people, unfortunately, they put their stop loss right here in this area, right? And they move their take profit area to these areas, and they even move their take profit area and hope that the market is continuing down forever. That's not how we trade. We use this tool to be very specific in when we take our stop losses and when we take our profits. All right, is there something else I need to share about the risk reward ratio tools? Let me see. I think that's it. That's a tool that's used to measure out how much you can risk and how much you can gain and what's your what you can set as your amount on your stop loss area. Because when you move this, when you move your stop loss area, you can see the stop loss number here on this symbol. So you can just jump to MetaTrader 5 and change the amount right here even quicker. The quickest way to do it is basically just to eyeball it and see where the high of the candle is, right? And also, when you move your stop loss area, you can move it to break even. When you move it to break even, I'm not sure why it's not moving. When you move it to break even, you can still move the break even on the tool right here, but it needs to be done manually. There you go. See, it's going down to my take profit area. All right, that's about it on the long and short tool. Hope you learned something from this lesson today. Biggest takeaway, just one thing from this lesson, one sentence is enough, and share it below because it will activate the way we learn. We learn by actively engaging in these lessons. And as always, if you like this video, feel free to follow me on YouTube, on the gram, Instagram, and if you haven't done it already, join the school community. Take care.